Hi scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott and I've got 3 projects today. One is going to be this one and and these are all ones that I'm doing for the Get It Scrapped creative team. And so that's one. I'm going to do that after a little while. This is another. And I'm going to put these to the side because I'm going to work on my biggest, hottest mess first. And that would be, let's see. Oh, where did it go? So I make videos, scrapbooking videos, and that's from a different layout I just did. Anyways, yeah, here it is. So what I do is I press record on my iPad, and then I start talking. And sometimes I have a little bit of a plan. So I have 3 plans tonight, but I'm going to make 3 different videos, and you'll see them in different times. But this was the first one, and I did it on my Silhouette cut mat. And the thing about my Silhouette is when I first got it, it was so, like, the mat was so sticky that I could barely get things off, and now it is not sticky enough so that when it kind of like messed up, and it's done that before with these intricate, so that's wrong. So with some of these more intricate cuts, I'm losing some context. So I think that by the way, like if I put, like the kind of messed up part is over here, so if I put maybe the photos over here and leave this side open, I think that's going to be fine, and I can kind of cover up some of my mess. Well, this is like a cardstock paper. It is called Pedalix Cover Whirlwind Papers. I got this at a scrapbooking yard sale, and it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, and it's a pink paper. And I wanted to use a pink color because I'm going to be scrapbooking about my daughter. And I have 2 different photos that I had up on Instagram that I'm going to use. I printed them out by using my home printer. And I use a program called Picasa, which is a free program from Google. And so it's very easy to get all this stuff off of my cutting mat because it's barely sticky anymore. I have another cutting mat, but I just haven't wanted to, I guess it's time, but I haven't wanted to break it out yet. Also, I know there's ways, and I've seen like on Pinterest, there's ways to get your sticky mat sticky again. So I may have to look up some of those ideas, but I'll just put that back for now. Yeah, because the unstickiness of my Silhouette cut mat is becoming kind of an impediment to my using my Silhouette. So this is like a wood grain pattern, and I printed it in this, or I cut it in this pink shiny stuff, and I really think it's going to be cute, except it's kind of messed up. See, there was supposed to be like a square all the way around it, and while I could get another sheet to play with, I think that I will have the same problem if I use the same cutting mat. So, yeah. So let's see how far we can get with this. So I made a big box of, oh, this is on my desk. Because my kids were, okay, first of all, we have a possum problem in our backyard. Possums, raccoons, fruit rats, and squirrels. And so we live on the water, and so I think that all of those critters like to roam around back there. And so the long story there is, so we bought a possum trap, and it's called Have a Heart because it doesn't kill them. It just captures them. And so we caught a possum last night. But my kids made the possum trap box into this elaborate like Minecraft costume. Oh, this is a hot mess right here. this is just so kind of not working, because what happened is it kind of moved when, like, the paper moved while it was still cutting. So see how that's supposed to look, and then this, like, both of those things shouldn't be there. I think this one is the one that should go. So I'm not exactly, I think I'm just gonna, I just cut it. Or I just ripped it off. Yeah, so I kind of ramble on and talk to you while I'm scrapbooking, because I make the scrapbook videos, process videos in real time, so you can see exactly how long something takes me. And so while I'm doing something boring, I usually like to tell you about what's ever going on with us. So lately it's been the possums. But so my kids made this elaborate Minecraft costume with the possum box. And I think this should be cut. And I don't, unfortunately, I don't have my, I have misplaced my X-Acto knife. So I'm just going to cut this and see if I can get it to go with the flow here. Because I just don't want to do this whole cut again. And granted, that doesn't look perfect, but this, so this is the part of the layout that kind of got messed up. So I think that's the part that I'll try to cover up with photos. Yes? Yes. Anyways, my kids made a Minecraft costume, and those washi tapes, they like took great liberty with my washi tapes and covered the possum box with washi tapes. But look, I still have, there's still plenty, so I didn't really, I let them kind of have free access to my stuff, my scrapbooking stuff, so inwardly I was kind of going, oh man, but outwardly I was like, oh, that's cute. I didn't, you know, I just went with it. So that's what it looks like on the brown, and these are the photos that I'm intending to use. I don't think I like that on the brown. I think I want a different, like a lighter color. And not necessarily green. Let's just see what I've got handy. Oh, I also thought I could use text, and that might be really cute. The problem with this text is I kind of used it as a testing ground for my spray mists. Yeah, so I'm probably not going to use that one. So also when I make these videos, I don't have everything else selected, like obviously. Here's just a reddish color. Let's see if we like that. I think I like that better. And I also think that even though these photos don't really have, like my daughter is in pink, so if I use that pink color, then it's going to kind of bring your eye to her. So let's go with that idea. Now, here's my next dilemma. How am I going to adhere this to this? Let's see. The other thing I could do is maybe bring this off the, like just cut it off there, and then I'm not really decided. I think I'll just adhere it to the whole thing. And part of me doesn't really want to use this paper because it's so cute on the other side. Do you guys have that problem? That dilemma? Where you go, oh, but the other side is so cute. And I'll tell you the craziest thing is I have that dilemma even though, okay, even though I have more than one of that sheet of paper. I still have that dilemma. Oh, it's crazy, I know. Okay, so this would be, like if we did a little, that doesn't look good. Does it look good? I don't know. It's kind of interesting with the flowers back there because the cherry blossoms were in bloom when we were up there. But I kind of feel like it's a lot for the eye to take in. And that I kind of like, I think I like that more. So let's, okay, self. Let's not worry about the other side of this is so cute. okay, because we know we have more of that. That was a particularly cute sheet of paper. That was, I think, Amy Tan for American Crafts, and it's really cute. It is. It's totally cute. I'm going to use it like this. So what I usually use for adhesive with my silhouette cuts are those sticky dots, but I'm kind of thinking that that might not be the best idea for this layout because I don't know why. I just don't think it will be. So I'm just going to put a little piece of tape. Maybe it will. I want to kind of tape the, yeah, what I'm afraid of, the reason that I am a little bit afraid of using the sticky dots, the Thermo Web sticky dots, which I love, 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 it is that I'm afraid that it's going to move and then I'm going to have problems. So let me just stick this down too. Okay, so Debbie Hodge was recently on the paper clipping roundtable. She was talking about embracing your imperfection in your scrapbooking. And let's just say this is highly imperfect. So this goes right along with that theme. This is way imperfect, right? It's okay. And so Debbie kind of described herself as someone who doesn't do a lot of imperfection. Like she really likes to spend a lot of time and get things like all the way right on her pages. And I really admire her style and I learn a lot from her. But I am not the perfectionist that Debbie is. I think part of the reason I like her so much is that I think we have very different styles of approaching things. So it's always fun to learn from someone that isn't necessarily the same as you, I think. I think you can learn a lot that way. Okay. But somebody who was a lot like me, so the other Debbie Hodge I got in my week this week was, oh gosh, this feels like a hot mess. But the person that I thought was so similar to me and had so many of the similar, not necessarily in style of scrapbooking, but in terms of life experiences, was Anna Aspinez. And she was one of the teachers for Masterful Scrapbook Design and Get It Scraps month on photo play. And she's a digital scrapbooker. I'm a paper scrapbooker. Her layouts look a lot different than mine. Her layouts don't really look like paper layouts. Some digital designers like Debbie Hodge, her digital scrapbook pages really look a lot like a paper scrapbook page would. But anyways, Anna Aspinez really takes advantage of the tool of the digital scrapbooking and all the Photoshop tricks you can do. But so anyways, her layouts don't look anything like mine, I don't think. But she was talking about how in the office hours, she was talking about how she didn't used to love dogs and now she does. She was talking about how she loved horses when she was a girl, and how she had a strict father who really, had a lot to say about the educational choices that she made in terms of college and university. And what else did she say? She met her husband in 1995, that she's been experiencing back pain, that she has a son with some, I don't think he had ADHD, but he had some kind of issue like that, and my son, and so anyways, all of those things I just said, the same. I was, as she was talking and she said a couple of things that were similar, I was like, oh, huh, me too. And then, after she said, 10 things that were, so similar to me, I was like, I had to chime in and say, oh my gosh, I feel like you're describing my life And so she was so interesting to listen to, and I've heard her before, but never quite like this last office hours, where she was just so open about her life and, about how she scrapbooks her life too. But she was so interesting to listen to. I really enjoyed her honesty and authenticity, and just, it was really inspiring and felt like community building. It just felt like, hey, we're all of us scrapbookers, we're all in this together, and it's okay if we're honest about the things that aren't perfect in our lives. And so I'm encouraging Debbie Hodge to do a segment or a special issue or something that she could maybe do. Maybe I'll do it like this. I kind of feel like this is the top though. I feel like the grain goes like that. That she should do one of her Get It Scrapped about, or masterful scrapbook design. She said she might do a special event. Like she just did that special event style as leverage. But do one called Scrapbook Therapy, like using scrapbooking and artistic expression to kind of navigate your way through life's challenges. I think that would be just so awesome. So there's my tangent while I was getting a little stuff done. So I encourage you, as you're watching these videos, to not really do too much watching. I want you to mostly be listening and also creating yourself. So a lot of people, me included, have a computer in their scrapbook space. And so I like to listen to podcasts about scrapbooking while I'm scrapbooking. But I don't necessarily, I don't like to watch a video that I have to watch too carefully. I want to watch a video that is more about listening. So that's how I kind of design these videos, and also how it's easy. Also, like, it's easier for me to make videos if I don't have to edit them. What am I trying to say? Oh, if they're in real time. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I've got a problem right there that I need to cover up. And I don't necessarily want to cover it up with the photos. I kind of like the idea of the photos. I don't know, maybe like, do we want them wonky? Maybe like slightly wonky, but not too much. Not too wonky. And then my other question is, should this be? I think so. All right, I think that's where they're going to go. And yeah, what I like to do is when I think it's like, oh, that looks pretty okay, I like to get it down, to adhere it down, just so that I'm not continuing to make the decision of where stuff should go. So let me just tack those down. Also, these were printed at home, and when I print at home and then I work with the photos, what kind of annoys me is that I get like kind of black soot on my fingers, and I don't like that. Okay, so you can see it on the tape. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. I can, and it bugs me. Okay, so what else is going on? So I'm one of the 4 teachers in Big Picture Classes has a class called An Update to Remember. And so my week was this past week, and I was all about how to use Pinterest for memory keeping, and then scrapbooking. Hold on, I'm just going to get some pop dots. And then this week it is Tammy Morrison, and she is talking about using Twitter for memory keeping, and I watched her segments. I didn't watch them like the whole thing. I just watched a little bit, but I'll tell you, I know she loves it, and I know a lot of people do love Twitter, but I still don't get it. So like, I tweeted something like I ate a bug today. My daughter went to this place called the Candy Kitchen and got like worms. They're like Mexican snacking worms. They're so disgusting. And I felt like I was on Survivor. And so she dared me to eat one. So then of course I had to, you know, because I'm up for that kind of challenge usually. Oh, that's not sticking at all. Like, I didn't really nail it down too much, but it's really not. I think we're going to have an adhesive challenge here. But, so I ate a bug, and I tweeted about that. But I'll tell you, I mean, I don't know. I still don't really... I love the other platforms so much, and I kind of feel like Twitter is a little bit full of itself, you know? I don't know. I also don't really like the restriction of only being able to have a certain number of characters. Like, that also bugs me. Because if I'm going to talk, I'm going to talk for a while. Or, you know, if I want to say something, I don't want to edit. I don't want to edit for brevity, obviously. Just watch these videos. I like to just go on and on and on. And so, because there's a character limitation there on Twitter, I kind of feel like that's a kind of a restriction that I don't like. And then the other thing, like reasons I don't like Twitter. Okay. The other thing that kind of bugs me about Twitter is that, so can we use washi here to cover up that crazy little mistake? Let's try this one. So this is like a botanical, so maybe I should have put this stuff down second, but I didn't. Okay. So I'm trying to cover up that little flaw down there. My imperfect scrapbooking. Here we go. All right. It's okay. What was I talking about? Anyways, I just don't really see the point of Twitter. Like, I do have my blog post to Twitter, but I rarely blog anymore. And honestly, I think it kind of bugs people when you do that. Like, because it bugs me. I think it's kind of like, oh, I'm calling it in. You know, people that like every single one of their Instagram posts are also on Facebook. Like, that also bugs me. I think you should or what really drives me nuts is like people that put all of the stuff they see on Pinterest on Facebook and Instagram. Like, they didn't even make it, and they're like I hate that. I hate it, especially when it's like they do it all the time. It feels like spam. It's super annoying, right? It is. Okay. So I'm not happy with this little flaw right there. Let's see what else I'm not happy about. Just ask my husband. No, I'm just kidding. He would laugh, though, if he heard me say that. Let's see. Maybe this one. This kind of has a wood graininess to it. I just kind of think, how's that? I don't know. It's kind of a mess, isn't it? So I forgot. Oh, so I tweeted about eating a bug. But like, I don't know. Like, I guess her point in the class was then it's like a, you know, like going back through the tweets is kind of like a memory. That's a memory. And I get that if you're tweeting kind of consistently. But I don't know. I just, like, I feel like I ought to be inspired to do that, but I'm kind of not. So what did I do when I got on Twitter? I just looked up stuff about the Duggars, which has been my total obsession lately. And did you see the Duggars where the Bates girl got married? Well, guess what Jill Duggar gave the Bates girl as a present? It was a scrapbook. Yes, it was. I thought that was so funny. And so I did Instagram about that. I was like, look at that. So I took a screenshot of my TV and then I Instagrammed that just because I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, so I do want to make these a little bit wonky. Maybe like this. I think my family is out in the backyard hunting possum. And the thing is that they will be able to find them, like, easily. We have a lot of possums on this island. There we go. Okay, so I kind of am wondering if I should also kind of have a strip of something going this way, and I feel like I should. But I'm not sure I want it to be that same washi, although, you know what, why not? So let's kind of like just move this up, because this photo just doesn't want to stay stuck down anyways. So I'm just going to lay it down like that. So yeah, I'm obsessed with the Duggars. And like, I really want to like them. I really want to. But I also have this like little skeptical bone, like, I don't know. Like, it does seem like everybody seems really happy, but it also seems like kind of oppressive. And yeah, so I did like a Google search, and then I was kind of like, you know, their politics are just very different than mine, and you know, I think it's wonderful that they, I don't know, I think they're really a neat family, but yeah, we probably vote very differently. But the other thing that kind of concerns me is, like, they do all seem so happy, but then, like, what I Googled about that is, like, that's part of it. Like, that's part of the whole culture, is that they have to be always happy. And while it would be awesome to be happy all the time, like, I would love to make my children be happy all the time and have happy countenances all of the time. Like, that would be awesome. I'm not sure that I want to have, like, I wouldn't want to force it upon them. I like my kids to have a free spirit. Which is kind of like the topic of this page, is that they're, and I guess so do they, because they let their kids run wild in the out there in the air. Anarchus, that's what my kids call Arkansas, Arkansas. So this photo is taken here in Florida, and this one up in Georgia. But we went on a spring break, and we did go through Anarchus, and we did kind of look up to see where are the Duggars, and it was going to be like 2 hours out of our way, so we didn't try to stop. Plus, I think their house is all locked up and gated and stuff like that anyways. So I'm a fan, but I'm a little bit of a little skepticism. But I hope it's all lovely, like they say it is. That would be lovely if it was. Okay, so I'm getting my pink here all, and they do seem kind of wonderful, you know? like just from watching the TV. But you know, there's usually, I don't know, maybe it's all awesome all the time. I hope it is. Okay, so here's the basic little structure of this layout. So I'm thinking that, what are we going to do next? I really don't like this here. Let me see if I can just move that to cover up that little, like, one little dirty spot. You know, it's so funny. Okay, so I ramble when I do these videos, but we watched American Hustle, and one of the things one of the most interesting parts of that movie for me was like, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence, when she was talking about what perfumes she liked and like how everything smells really good in terms of perfume, but then like there's this undertone of like something that smells like not that good, which reminds me of this perfume called Realm. I think it's called Realm, which is made with like human pheromones. I don't know. When I first got out of law school and I went to work for another lawyer, he like thought it was like the most awesome perfume in the world. And so I got some, and it smells good, but it also smells like a little disgusting too. So she had that sentiment in the movie, and I didn't know anybody else had ever thought in terms like that, but I definitely have. Like sometimes really good smells have a really kind of rancid undertone. Not all of them. Like my lovely Eternity perfume by Calvin Klein doesn't have that undertone at all. But like that perfume Realm does. Okay, so I'm going to go wash my hands. I'll be straight back. I'm going to put you on pause. Okay, so I'm back. And so I was thinking about a title for this page, and so I didn't spend too much time without you. But I got on Pinterest and I searched quotes about the wild, because my daughter here is in both of these pictures, she's in the wild, which is unusual for us because we live in a city, and so there's not, we just went on a spring break where we saw a lot of woods and a lot of the wild, and while we have little pockets of it here where we live, it's really not, we live in a very developed area, so we don't get a lot of wild. So we saw a lot of it on our recent trip. So the first thing I came up with on Pinterest was a bunch of quotes by Oscar Wilde, which is not what I wanted. But then I found this, Wildness is a Necessity by John Muir. I can't say his name, but I really admire him. And then I found that, which kind of reminds me of this. It's like that, it's called Linograph, I think it's called. Linocut. I don't know. Anyways, so that's going to be my title. Wildness is a Necessity. And so I want the title to go kind of in this area here. And I think that I want it to be black. So I want it to be like the black of, yeah, like the frames around those Instagram things. Okay, so I'm looking in my drawer for some black letter stickers, and I have these, but I think they're going to be so big. I might be able to write wildness with them though. Let's just see. I like the look of them. W-I-L-D-N-E-S. I don't have two S's. So I'm not going to use that one. Plus I think it would be too big anyways. I have... I have a font I like. I just found it. So I have a lot of sheets of this font. It's most of the time when I have a lot of the same font, I will either put it in a sleeve together or I'll staple it together. I have not done that with these, but this is a font that I got at a discount store. It's an American Crafts letter sticker sheet. It's called Hickory, and I really I've used it a lot over the years, but I think it's going to work perfectly. Okay, so I still think I'm going to have to break up the word, which I'm not super happy about, but maybe I won't. Maybe I could just write wildness, like wildness, and then in those tiny little Tim Holtz letters that I love so much, is a necessity found me where. All right, so let's start with that N on the second line, because I know I'm not going to be able to spell wildness all in one shot. And it's not wilderness. The quote is not wilderness, it's wildness. I kind of wonder if I should have a little, like a little dot, because it's going to be like a letter of, it's going to be a word that is broken in half. So here's a W. Wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking to spell that nest. But I'm going to just put that kind of right here over the letters. You think we're going to like that? I think so. I think I will. I like it. I really like this font. I've used it, it says 2010 on the sticker, and I think it says 2010. I thought it said that. Anyways, I've had them for a long time, and I still like them a lot. They have not gone out of style for me. So wildness. And I didn't really leave a lot of room on this page for journaling. I could do a little trick where you kind of write around the edge. It's possible I'll do that. But you know what? I'm not sure that every single page needs a whole lot of explanation. Yeah, I think it's okay to have a page with little to no journaling, even though, I don't know, it just kind of seems like the story is kind of obvious to me. The story here is we went to go visit my best friend from high school, and this is her daughter and my daughter, and they love each other. They've been friends for years now. When we visit each other, the girls really like each other a lot. They have a lot in common, which is cool. And so that's in my best friend's backyard, which is like the total wilderness. It's so cool. And then this is in this lot that was for sale. We saw a wild peacock, and so my daughter is chasing the wild peacock. And we just kind of like pulled over. It's a section of town that has a lot of peacocks. And so whenever we drive through there, like if we drive to Target, we have to drive through this section of town called the Jungle. And there's monkeys and and I've never seen a monkey, but there's monkeys and also peacocks. So we saw a peacock. We pulled over, and this lot was for sale, and so I just let her run all over it, which I probably shouldn't have done, but wildness is a necessity, right? It is. So there we go. Just kind of mushing those down. So wildness, can you really read that? It's hard to read, I think. It's alright. I don't care. It's not all perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to do my little tiny letter stickers there. Because I really should buy some more of these little letter stickers because I use them all the time. And I kind of can't imagine scrapbooking without them anymore. I just really love them. Wildness is, and I am starting to run a little bit low on them. But I'll tell you what, over Christmas time and CHA, like in January, I kind of felt this need to get new stuff. And now I don't. I feel like I have so much stuff and I want to get rid of some stuff. I did get rid of a big box of stuff. It's in my car. It's ready to go to the art, what do you call it? The place where they give art classes. It's not like an art school. I guess it's an art school. The art center, I guess they call it. So I'm going to bring it down there. But yeah, I think I want to get rid of a bunch of stuff because it's just, sometimes it's, yeah, I'm just in a purging mood. I want to lose weight, I want to purge my closet, and I want to get rid of some scrapbooking things and probably go through both of my kids' rooms, which is something I feel like I need to do about every 6 months. It's such a chore, but you know, you gotta stay on top of that stuff, so yeah, contrast all that, like having to deal with clutter around the house with just running wild and free in the woods. So wildness is a necessity. I better, yeah, check on the spelling to make sure I don't misspell things. So anyways, I was talking about the Duggars before, and I really want to say I do hope that, like, I really like them. I like watching the show, and the show is very, it's very sweet. It reminds me of when you watch Mr. Rogers. You know, it's just kind of a happy little thing. So I hope they really are the happy family that they portray on TV. I hope they are. Then they probably are. Let's hope they are. Anyways, it's just so interesting. You know, when people do things that are just vastly different than the way you do things, I think that's interesting. You don't have to agree with the other way to do it. It's just interesting to learn about other ways of doing things. Yeah. I love a subculture. I do. Love learning about subcultures. And so I love, if you don't know about John Muir, he was a guy from Scotland, and I just learned about him this year, but I was so fascinated. He came to America, and then he was, his father was a strict religious dude, and kind of like the Duggars, right? But then he had some kind of an accident where he almost lost his vision, or he did temporarily lose it. And then afterwards, he was like, hey, listen, I'm out of here. And he went into the woods, and he, you know, he became just a big advocate of keeping the wild in the American West wild and not developed. And so he became friends with Theodore Roosevelt, who's my sixth cousin, by the way. But I learned that this year too. I think I'm gonna put his name up here. But and he also did the he's the guy that did, so a lot of the national parks are really because of Roosevelt and John Muir, and I want to call it the Seneca Club, but it's not the Seneca Club. It starts with an S. It's not Sedona. What is it called? The Sierra Club. Yes, the Sierra Club. He was like the founder of that, I think. Anyways, interesting dude. So are we done? I feel like it needs a little something extra, but does it? I don't know. The place where I think I could add a little extra is maybe just a little something right here. Do we like that? I think so. I think I do. This came on a shirt that I just bought. It was those little things that like keep it on the hanger. Anyways, the color's right, and it's right handy here, so I don't have to get up. So I'm just going to use some glue stick to adhere that down. Let's see if I can do it like this. Put that in there. And it's a little bit shiny, so it just gives it a little texture. And I don't think I'm going to do, oh, that didn't work. So here we go with imperfect scrapbooking. Let's try a different adhesive. Let's try this, is the dot roller. Oh, I could have done my thermo web. I should have thought of that. I didn't think of it. Okay. Yeah, there's a thread over at 2Ps right now that's like, what's the thing in scrapbooking that's going to make a comeback? And a bunch of people are saying, it's ribbon! I'm not so sure. But maybe. We'll see. I'll put some ribbon on this. See what happens. I don't think I'm a trendsetter by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't mind using older stuff. And or like just stuff I have laying around. So I think I like that. Don't we kind of feel like maybe some leaves might be fun? And I might have some that are already cut on the silhouette. Or actually, I think I have some. I do. Oh, avalanche. That's not good. I've got some right here. So that might work. Just see. I just keep a little kind of bin of stuff that I almost used and didn't use. But here we have some different kind of die cuts. I think these will work. And the colors are just about right. Yeah. Okay, so they were also saying flowers are coming back. I don't know about that either. I think it was people just guessing. I don't think they have anything to base it on. Okay, I feel like that's too big. But I kind of like this. Maybe we'll do it like this. Here. Is that weird? It's a little weird. I don't know. Let's see if we get another one. That's like an old basic gray. These are old basic gray. Okay, so maybe that there, and maybe this just tucking out. Just hear my son. Okay, I kind of like, because that seems like that Linocut thing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? No. Let's see if that will poke in there. Oh, I kind of like that because that kind of feels like it goes with the theme of that background. Yeah. That feels a little more interesting. So let's just see. I want to see if I can tuck that out. I don't want to cover up my words. I kind of want to have that. Yeah, I don't like that. let us see if we can find a different one. Maybe I just like that little flower down there. That was a little bit cuter. Okay, I like that. I think I like that. Do we like it? I think so. Yeah. I think that's going to be good. Yep. Let's see if there's any other little flowers in this conglomeration of stuff. And this is just like a box of stuff that like I put away years ago when I was like, oh, I'm tired of this stuff. And then what's interesting is to like bring that same stuff out later, and then you might feel like, oh, well, maybe this is a little more interesting than it was, you know, when I put it away and I was all tired of it. So I think sometimes with your papers or your embellishments, you can just kind of rotate them, and you know, like they were saying on the two-piece thread there, is like what's old is new again, and you sometimes you can, I don't think that works, but sometimes you can breathe new life into your old supplies just by kind of letting them sit for a while. Like, just forget about them for a little while. Now, some things I think it's important to, you know, it is important to let some things go. But for the things that you're like, oh, but I still sort of like that, it's just, you know, tuck them away if you have the space to do it. And then just kind of bring them back out after a time period. You know, even like a couple of, like this has been years since I've looked at this stuff. But now it feels like kind of perfect for this page. Okay, and I'm going to use the thermo sticky dots on this thing. Yeah, these I think I got, they were part of a basic gray collection. I don't remember the name of it, but I got it when I was doing the creative team for my local scrapbook store, which no longer exists. Like, it's been out of business for years, like at least 5 years. So this is like a really old basic gray paper line, and I don't remember what it was called. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no clue. But I think it works on this page. I'm not sure it looks hip and trendy, but it's not really my goal. I mean, you know, sometimes I want to look hip and trendy, but not all the time. Like, it's not my primary goal to be hip and trendy in the scrapbooking kind of way. But I just want to feel interested in what I'm doing, and enough time has gone by that now this feels interesting to me again. You know what I mean? I think you do. Like, even though this isn't really, you know, making a comeback or anything, it still feels like, oh, that's sort of appropriate for this page. And I like it. I liked it before. Now it's really bugging me what that line was called. I don't remember. If you know, leave a message. Leave a comment and tell me what it was called, because I'm curious. Anyways, I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing the Duggars. I don't know. I just am curious about how they get 19 kids to behave, because I can get 2 kids to behave. But I was also listening to the PJ Jonas does a podcast about the Busy Moms podcast, and I don't know if she's like in the same kind of religion as the Duggars, But she's got like 8 kids, and today her podcast was about the like 4 different types of parenting or styles of parenting, and one was like authoritarian, and then the next one was authoritative, which was like, you know, the one to be, and then there was permissive, and then there was just total neglect. And so I really think that I tend towards the permissive because my father was very authoritarian, not authoritative, but authoritarian. Like it was, you know, he used to say it was a benevolent dictatorship, which they were saying in her podcast, like, can cause some, you know, rebellion in children. And while I didn't ever, you know, do anything super bad, I did feel like inwardly rebellious. I think that showed up, yeah, in my life. Okay. So I guess I should try to be more authoritative and less permissive, but I think that is difficult. I like to encourage some freedom, as evidenced by the topic of this page. Yeah, I do. I think it's, so, you know, I want my kids to be able to make decisions for themselves. And so, while there's a lot of things that I would like them to adopt my thought process on, like, for example, you know, I think you should pray every day, and I think you should be thankful for things, and I think that, like, I would be really happy if they never got tattoos, because I'm not really, you know, to each their own, but for me, and hopefully my children, I'm not into them. It's not my thing. So I would prefer if my children didn't get tattoos, but eventually it will be up to them. And yeah, I think that it's just important to have them make their own decisions. Or even like recently, I had signed both of my kids up for a drama class, and for whatever reason, my daughter like super objected to it, and like I was gonna take her to, you know, was really couldn't understand why she didn't want to go. I paid the money for it, and I was like, "You're just gonna do it. Because I said so. Because I'm your mom," and she pleaded with me until I finally gave in. And so I don't think an authoritative or authoritarian parent might do that, but I did it, and it's maybe not the call that I would make every time, because, you know, my son did karate, and when he was a brown belt and gonna get his black belt, he wanted to quit, and we were like, oh no. And so we didn't let him quit. So sometimes we can be a little authoritative or authoritarian, but generally we're kind of permissive. You know, we want not giving into everything, but giving into things when it makes sense to give in. You know, I don't know. There's a tangent for you. I'm a tangent girl. And so I have this little birdie. And since we're talking wildness and freedom, or maybe right. So I'm torn because I don't want to make like a whole nother embellishment cluster. Because, you know, we wouldn't want to violate any rules of threes. But I kind of feel like I want this little birdie to be in there. And I like the idea of having it over here. Let's see if it works over there. but I don't want it to, I don't want to make 4 embellishment clusters. And I also, yeah, I don't like that. I like the idea of having it kind of highlight the quote. Oh, I'm just trudging through this, sorry. Alright, I'm going to put it there, even though it's weird. Is it weird? It's a little weird. It's okay. Alright. And now I really think I'm, and so there's this other little thing here, spread your wings, which really like goes to the theme of it, and there's enough green in here now that I think maybe it will work. I kind of don't want it to be, isn't that too awkward? Okay, so maybe not. I don't think I can move that little dove because I printed these at home and it's really hard to move. Okay, I don't like that. But now I kind of want to use this, and I kind of want to put it over here, which like really makes like embellishment sneeze. Oh, you know what? It's okay. I think we'll do it anyways, and I'm just gonna. It's a little much. I think it's okay. Yeah, it'll be alright. Okay. I think that's about it. Oh, here's a little bumblebee while we're at it. While we're at the over embellishing stuff. Let's see where we can put this little bumblebee. I kind of want to put it right here. It really doesn't feel like it ought to be there, but oh well, it is. There it is. We've got a snail too. Do we want to go that far? I don't think we do. No. Okay. I'm gonna stop now. And that is all. Thank you for watching, and you'll be able to see the photograph of this layout over at Get It Scrapped, along with other layouts that incorporate this idea of the Linocut, which is I guess it's a style of like stamp making, but I thought I could accomplish the same thing with the silhouette. I gotta tuck that thing under. But there we go. Wildness is a necessity. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.